carrying Cancer in this year will experience many small and big changes during this year. The annual Cancer prediction focuses not only on Cancer's ruling planet, the Moon. Many events based on astrological transits occur in the 4th astrological house, which is specified as the family's home and is linked to Cancer's life. But not only the Moon hits Cancer and affects the energies of the 4th sign in a row. Horoscope for this period. Cancer predicts that Cancer will focus on itself in this year. Cancer is a sign of the zodiac that values family, history, and family relationships. The Cancer prediction for this period describes. It loves social activities, which it shares mainly with family members. To a large extent, this time also focuses on good family relationships and strengthening family bonds. The charitable activity must be part of the entire this year, if Cancer wants to be even more successful during this year, advises the annual Cancer prediction. The sign of Cancer kicks off the summer season, as this sign begins to rule on June 21st. Also in this year, Cancer celebrates its birthday at the beginning of summer, when the daylight is at its peak in balance with the night hours. Cancer's energy is compatible with the resources of the summer months, which are the sun, warmth, energy, abundance, and rejuvenation. At the beginning of this year, relations like to get into good shape. In January, the planets move through the 7th astrological house and affect relationships, marriage, and relationships in a broader sense with colleagues, family, friends. Later, this year, specifically in February, will be manifested by the placement of important planets in the 8th house of astrology. There, he intervenes in family finances and can correctly navigate Cancer even in important decisions related to real estate. Cancer is often ready and willing to face any problem, especially if these problems concern someone close to you. This year's social events will enrich every Cancer with new acquaintances and new friends. Not only in the early months of the year, which will be specific to good relationships, and for some Cancers, also travel. A Cancer who goes on a trip, business trip, vacation, or adventure during February and March can get to know not only new places, but also new people. This year will enrich Cancer with new friends and strengthen old friendships. The Moon will be in good shape at the beginning of the year, properly tuned to help the one it rules. Annual forecast. Cancer says that the Moon offers you many benefits from its action during the months of this year. However, in March, Cancer focuses not only on relationships, but also on work duties, which can sometimes burden and overwhelm Cancer. The 3rd month of this year predicts many obligations, but the most accurate annual forecast. Cancer also talks more about these energies. Therefore, during this year, Cancer does not make decisions only with its heart. Disturbing astrological aspects, such as April's retrograde Mercury in the 11th house of Cancer, mean mental freedom. Therefore, Cancer can make decisions in this year that it would not have made in any other period. The impulsive behavior of Cancer can be specific in the month of April, namely from April 21st to May 15th, when the 2nd Mercury retrograde of this year also affects Cancer. This time in the 11th astrological house. If you are a Cancer who is interested in the development of relationships, your attention will certainly be tuned in this direction, especially in the first and last months of this year. At that time, many planets will focus on the 7th house of astrology. It examines friendly, partner, lover, marital relationships. However, when the Cancer season begins, from June 21st, the 1st and 2nd houses of Cancer are substantially occupied. During the period when Cancer celebrates its birthday, you focus on your own self, on your own identity. However, with the end of the month, you also think about finances and examine your priorities. The forecast for this year. Cancer predicts that the key color of the year for Cancer will be black. Mysterious color, mysteries. If you enrich your wardrobe with this color, you will also attract the attention of the surroundings. A mysterious and mystical energy radiates from Cancer in this year, which is also identified with the ruling Cancer element, water. The color blue is also strongly connected to this year and the 3rd eye chakra, which you can strengthen this year. You need to support the third eye and learn to work with it. In the following lines, you can read more about how the sixth chakra will affect your health and psyche for the year. In those, annual forecast Cancer talks about the Cancer's health, energy and vitality in this year. It also offers advice on how to improve your energy and how to connect with your energy center. The third eye is the chakra that is associated with intuition and higher knowing. Thanks to the water element, Cancer is a strongly intuitive zodiac sign. If you strengthen this intuition also by healing the sixth chakra, it is clear that intuition can navigate you correctly. It will be so strong that it will alert you to things that can betray you either physically or mentally. When I, Sybil, look at the astrological chart of the Cancer sign for this year, I see that there will be many events that will be oriented around friendship. However, Astrology Cancer also says that Cancer remembers the past again. I advise you, especially from July 23rd to September 4th, to focus on the past that creates a sense of security in your soul. The past does not have to be associated only with negative feelings. These days, retrograde Venus is settled in the second house of Cancer and can also increase your possessiveness and desire for finances, not only the relationship with the past, which you can now transform into a positive one. Anyway, karma is emerging in your soul now, connecting with past people and circumstances that are the backbone of Cancer's sense of security. However, the horoscope defines many interesting aspects of astrology even at the end of this year, when the Sun gradually passes from the 3rd to the 7th astrological house. The Sun moves from the sign of Virgo to the sign of Capricorn, where it will end this year. However, before the end of this year, Cancer will still feel Mercury retrograde in the 3rd house. At the end of December, the last moments of this year are focused on love, because the placement of Venus in the 5th house will bring popularity to many Cancers and a spontaneous expression of sexuality. Annual forecast Cancer thus defines many diverse astrological transits in its most accurate prediction. During this year, not only the position of the ruling moon is important, but also the strength of other astrological transits. In the year-long forecast, the horoscope will also look at the position of the Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, and the astrological houses that will be most affected in this year in Cancer. How does astrology affect the different directions of Cancer's life? The complete prediction of Cancer will tell you more. Negative energies that affect Cancer this year. For Cancer, the biggest problem this year is a lack of energy and reluctance to do some things that are Cancer's duties. Even wrong thinking about the past can hinder Cancer from progressing in life in the middle of this year. According to the characteristics of the sign, Cancer is first of all marked as the most compassionate of the 12 signs of the zodiac. Nevertheless, in this year, the negative qualities of this sign will also manifest themselves. Big problems for Cancer will be caused by moodiness. And especially if Cancer does not work with its inner emotions. Also, beware of accusing others without any evidence. This negative feature of Cancer can be accentuated under the influence of astrological aspects in this year. Suspicion, one of the negative traits for this period, can cause Cancer to doubt the good intentions of others. Especially if the health of Cancer's heart and emotions are threatened. The horoscope advises Cancer not to run only to wrongful accusations in this year. To work more with his soul and try to tune into a positive wave of emotions. If Cancer doesn't take care of its emotional health, its year-round mental health and overall well-being can be at risk. In this direction, it is necessary not only to strengthen the chakra of the third eye, which will multiply Cancer intuition, but also meditation. If Cancer's intuition is even stronger than usual, it can guide Cancer to the most correct path in life. Otherwise, if you neglect the healing of your emotions, it can have a truly devastating effect on your soul throughout this year, warns the annual Cancer prediction for this period. The beginning of the year can torment Cancer in the first days. Retrograde Mercury affects the 7th astrological house of Cancer until January 18th. Mercury is now in its final retrograde phase. It is the first retrograde Mercury of this year is Mercury, which brings concern but also frustration to Cancer. In the early days of this year, Cancer struggles with nervousness and indecision. The opening days of the year can deepen Cancer's introverted ways of expression, warns the annual forecast. In this year, the second retrograde Mercury can also have a negative effect on Cancer, warns the accurate annual forecast Cancer. It will take place from April 21st to May 15th. This Mercury will show its strongest energy from the beginning of May, when Cancer is affected in the field of career, family and marriage. Unfortunately, on these days, you are dealing with feelings of rejection and experiencing a wrong connection with the past again. Now you also perceive that what you are trying to explain is perceived by others differently than it was intended. These days, the fortune teller strongly recommends avoiding signing important documents. Also, avoid making the final decision on things that may not be decided right away. These days affect the judgment of Cancer, who may make the wrong decision under the influence of this position of Mercury. The karma of these days will also identify you with the past in which you seek refuge. However, the Cancer annual prediction advises you to focus mainly on the present and future plans. The disturbing position of retrograde Saturn in the 9th house will also manifest itself in inappropriate behavior. This transit is not purely negative, on the contrary, it represents a lot of positive. But in view of the negative vibration of his energies, Cancer can be the result of many obligations. If we look at the cosmic energies of the days from June 17th to November 4th, when Saturn operates in this position, it is clear that Cancer will face many tasks that need to be mastered. And so, this period can be demanding on the energy of Cancer. However, the Cancer yearly forecast says that negative energies will be most noticeable especially in the second half of the year, which can be demanding on tasks, duties, and energy for Cancer. July 23rd is the end of the season of Cancer, and the fortune teller Sybil believed that Cancer fully enjoyed the celebration of its birthday, as well as the more favorable first half of this year. In the second part of the year, the fortune teller draws attention to several disturbing transits and the position of the planets, which can derail Cancer from the right direction in life. Therefore, dear Cancers, beware of the negative vibrations of the second part of the year. The second part of this year is charged with retrograde energies coming from Venus, twice from Mercury. In addition, the Moon will manifest itself in a disturbing position, when up to 2 full moons will occur during the month of August. The first full moon around August 1st gives rise to the feeling that material security is all that Cancer needs for life. So, it's no surprise that Cancer is now dealing with worries about money and spending. This position of the Moon can also indicate inheritance, therefore, the forecast advises Cancer to pay close attention to the health of family members. At the end of August, the second full moon appears, which will take place these days. 2 full moons during August can cause insomnia and subsequent nervousness in Cancer. It is Cancer who perceives these phases of the ruling planet most sensitively according to astrology. Foreign cultures now enchant Cancer, and many a Cancer can fall in love across borders. This aspect is therefore a warning mainly for single Cancers, and mainly for those Cancers who travel. Sybil advises, beware of romances that can seriously damage your relationship. However, you mainly think about your health, even in the case of romances with single Cancers. Cancer is very sensitive to the position of the Moon. It often happens in the second half of the year that Cancer perceives the full moon very excessively and cannot rest well during the days around the full moon. Other problems of a health nature can also be related to this. Cancer needs to sleep well in order to function well. Otherwise, you will have difficult days when the energy is at 0 point. Try to exhaust your body enough during full moons that you go to bed completely exhausted. Try to calm your mind with herbal thyme broth. Among other things, it also calms you down and brings many other health benefits for your psyche and physical health. From July 23rd to September 4th, Venus will anchor in the second house, in retrograde motion. This Venus placement has many benefits for Cancer, but it also means possessiveness. These feelings coming from Venus are combined with a lot of negative energy from Saturn, describes the Cancer prediction for this period. Therefore, the feeling of possessiveness is even stronger, and Cancer focuses on accumulating property and gaining a better personal and financial position. So, it's no surprise that Cancer will yearn for financial improvement, despite the fact that this outcome requires a lot of determination and sometimes exhausting effort. Problems with the opposite sex and fear of expressing emotions can also result from Venus being placed in this way. This can block the development of love in budding relationships, but also the development of emotions in long-term married Cancers, underlines the Cancer prediction. At the end of the year, Cancer focuses on the past and thinks that the security it felt in the past will no longer be found. Cancer can become very attached to the past under the influence of astrological vibrations. He feels his hands are tied because he cannot free himself from past feelings and embellishing the past. Cancer can sometimes seem rosier than it really was. Finally, the disruptive month of December comes, which is specific to Mercury's last disruptive retrograde movement. Venus also moves through the 5th astrological house. Venus can affect Cancer relationships with this placement, as intimacy is now Cancer's main concern. Cancer now establishes partnerships very easily, so this Venus energy can mean an inharmonious position. Spontaneous expression of sexuality can lead to intimate romances, damaging long-lasting relationships. Be careful with overly intimate relationships with friends, colleagues, acquaintances. Annual forecast Cancer is therefore reassessing the last disturbing transits at the end of the year. In any case, it is clear from the astrological chart that the more difficult period for unpleasant aspects will be precisely the period from the days when the season of the Cancer sign ends. Positive energies affect Cancer this year. As the horoscope already mentioned in its personal forecast for this year, the beginning of the year can be disturbing for a while. However, right after the first retrograde Mercury fades away, the energies calm down and get into the right cosmic vibration towards Cancer. The yearly forecast assesses the vibrations around the 4th sign in sequence as favorable, especially in the first half of the year. However, the following months are also a harbinger of a fight between more negative energies and drawing benefits from, at first glance, negative astrological aspects. Thus, until the 18th of January, Mercury in retrograde motion blocks the manifestation of favorable astrological energies. With the end of this movement of Mercury, there are times when strongly favorable energies fly over Cancer and lend Cancer a lot of joy, love, happiness. In February, the astrological chart finds Venus in the 9th and 10th houses. Venus in the 9th house until February 20th can bring a soulmate into the life of a single Cancer. The life of Cancers in relationship will also be extremely joyful during the second month of this year. This is not only due to the kind position of Venus, but also the strength of Jupiter in the 10th house. With Jupiter thus placed, Cancer finds itself in a position where the door to career happiness is wide open. The work and finance horoscope for this period, Cancer says that this placement of Jupiter is stored in the 10th house until May 17th. On these days, disturbing aspects will only slightly affect the favorable career action of Jupiter on Cancer. And that's why the astrological chart says that Cancer will be successful in what it does at the beginning of the year. And last but not least, those Cancers who are looking for a job will finally succeed. Unemployed Cancers will finally meet success and career happiness. However, he also advises unemployed Cancers to prepare for this joyful side of the year during January by preparing a high-quality resume and being active in their job search. Sybil, the fortune teller, warns that nothing will happen without the Cancer's help. Cancer must try, but the effort will certainly be appreciated. And the transits of January and the entire first half of this year give you strength. Annual forecast Cancer identifies you with real values in the first and second quarters of the year. The end of the month of April and the first half of May is specific to Mercury retrograde in the 11th house. Although this aspect of the rule is negative, you can also draw from it. By meditating and exercising with your psyche. Mercury retrograde is generally a period that can trouble you. But on the other hand, you have the opportunity to return to the taste of childhood. Remember the joyful tastes and smells of your childhood. Prepare for yourself or your loved ones a meal, a drink, a program, a walk in nature, or a meeting that will reconnect you with positive feelings from childhood. The mysticism of this retrograde planet also draws attention to past things that filled you with happiness. Nostalgia is associated in Cancer with each Mercury retrograde of this year. The 11th house occupied by Mercury now identifies Cancer with beloved past things, which help you move through the worst energies of this transit. A positive position is Mars in the 2nd house, which Cancer feels from May 20th to July 10th. For this reason, Cancer perceives this position even during its season and thus also during the period when some Cancers celebrate this year's birthday. So, celebrations will not be the only interest of Cancer. Annual forecast Cancer also predicts an extraordinary financial gain thanks to this position of Mars. Satisfaction awaits you in the field of finances. Mars is also a specific driving force that will correctly navigate Cancer to improve its financial situation. You will use your talent to satisfy your financial interests in this year. You will discover not only a way to earn, but also satisfy yourself anchoring in society. You are now in the right place, or you are heading to a place where you will be financially satisfied. Mars in the 2nd house is not usually a happy aspect for relationships. However, these are strengthened by Venus placed in the 2nd house, same like the planet Mars. Again, these aspects have a positive effect on finances. In addition, Cancer also finds joy in discovering your own space together with a close friend, family member, or partner. You also see opportunities to build greater confidence and deeper relationships through ideas and initiative. The second part of the year can be disruptive. However, Cancer can gain a lot from her if he follows the fortune teller's advice. It will also focus on the retrograde planets Mercury, Venus, and Saturn, which are specific to the year's 2nd half. However, Cancer's positive feelings are also influenced by Mars in the 12th house, which Cancer can also use for future success. From July 23rd, Venus is retrograde, and from August 23rd, Mercury joins it. The 2nd and 3rd houses of Cancer are thus occupied by the planet in retrograde motion. Moreover, Saturn is set in the same way during this period, this time in the 9th house. Yes, retrograde planets are generally a disruptive transit. But now Sybil will reveal to Cancer how to use these periods for huge positive life changes in Cancer's life. First of all, retrograde Saturn in the 9th house means in Cancer the strengthening of intelligence, wisdom. It gives Cancer a new perspective on the world and important things around. In the end, Saturn will offer Cancer new paths that are more favorable. If you strengthen the third eye chakra of intuition, you will seize all opportunities. You are thus continuing the mission that will successfully build the basis for spiritual progress. And this is how you will use the energy of Saturn after the end of the Cancer season, July 23rd, until November 4th. From the day the Cancer season ends, Venus also turns retrograde. It is very specific and means happiness for Cancers who make a living or want to make a living as artists. It means great luck for creative and artistically gifted Cancers. You also perceive the past, and if you set yourself up correctly, the past will emerge only in connection with favorable memories and joy. Venus will love you until September 4th, if you use it properly. The third retrograde Mercury will manifest itself from August 23rd to September 15th. And this Mercury is the transit of new contacts, says the Cancer yearly forecast. It acts like a boomerang effect that now connects you with the people you lost, if you so wish. Annual forecast Cancer is extremely beneficial for those Cancers who are looking for work or love. It supports new things if you look for them in those who were and are important to you. This Mercury of this year allows you to move on after its demise in the long term. In the final months of the year, November and December, the planets are favorably placed so that Cancer can encourage its own health. Although December can be challenging, a lot depends on how you use the favorable November. This seems to be a powerful month for promoting health, energy, and vitality. Exercise can make you happy, and November is the perfect month for Cancer, who wants to start exercising, live healthy, lose weight. As you can see, dear Cancers, this year is full of extremely favorable transits. These favorable vibrations directed at Cancer must be used by any Cancer who perceives these lines. The given advice and the description of the beautiful energies of this year are the best recommendation for Cancer, who longs for joy, happiness, and satisfaction in this year. The Cancer prediction therefore presents a comprehensive list of recommendations and warnings for the most fulfilling Cancer future. Cancer Annual Forecast. Love and relationships. Interesting news and cosmic energies in this year also concern those Cancers who are interested in love, relationships, and the emotional future. At the beginning of this year, Jupiter is in the sector of own identity and advancement. Because Jupiter is favorably placed in the first house until May 20th, Cancer is gifted with extremely good relationships with family and with itself. Love can torment you at the beginning of the year, only in the first 18 days of this year. Retrograde Mercury completes its vibration in the 7th house of Cancer. Cancers feel this transit from December 29, 2022, and it lasts until January 18th. Cancer is now unsure about his long-term relationship. Moreover, in these early days of the year, you treat your partner more like a sibling or a child. You want to control him, long to manipulate him. Cancer is a sign that is known for being able to manipulate anyone it wants in its path. The Cancer Relationship Annual Forecast underlines that the beginning of the year can be misunderstood by Cancer and therefore can incorrectly evaluate their relationships. The fortune teller warns against words that could hurt your partner or close friend. Watch out for words that could make the other person sad, warns the horoscope until January 18th. However, from this day on, things start to improve and become clearer in Cancer love. From January 20th, the Sun moves from the 7th house to the 8th, where it will start the season of Aquarius. At the same time, it is placed in a house that predicts financial well-being obtained through a partner. Now is the right time for you to guide and help your partner in building such plans that will be successful. This Sun also persuades you to get involved in helping others. However, watch out for your loved ones, because the Sun in this position means unexpected, not positive changes in the health of those closest to you. Be more interested in how your interest in others can boost their health and energy. Love is not only about the relationship of a couple or partners. It is also about how we care about those closest to us. Whether we can take care of those who took care of us in the past. That's why Cancer's love horoscope recommends taking more care of parents and siblings from January to February. In February, Venus moves from the 9th to the 10th house, where it resides until March 16th. The entire month of February is focused on a slightly different approach to relationships with a partner than has been the case so far. It is no exception that during planets placed in this way, a person is interested in foreign cultures and foreigners. If you are a Cancer who is going to travel in February, get your personal relationship in order beforehand. Any disappointment in your partner or unresolved conflicts can cloud your judgment. Annual Forecast Cancer warns the assigned Cancer about an affair with a stranger, the consequences of which can be devastating for a long-term relationship. However, that Cancer who is satisfied in the relationship and who has cleared up all previous relationship complications does not need to worry about this warning from Venus. Cancers satisfied in their relationship can develop personal emotional connections and strengthen love through strengthening the partner relationship. In any case, the second month of this year is suitable for a relationship that will lead to satisfaction and higher knowledge. So, if you are planning a trip abroad, include your partner in these plans. If there is no travel waiting for you in February, develop a relationship through communication and common interests, concludes the annual Cancer prediction. In March, the 10th and 11th houses are inhabited by Venus. At the same time, the astrological chart also looks at the position of Mercury in the 9th and 10th houses. These planetary positions bring more masculine energy into Cancer's life. The female energy of Cancer, which mostly prevails in this sign, is properly balanced. And that's why love in the first quarter ends with a very favorable energy, which further multiplies satisfaction in Cancer's relationship. The horoscope does not predict anything negative in this period, and therefore the prediction for this period is favorable. In the previous lines, the fortune teller mainly mentioned favorable and balanced emotions in connection with love and relationships. However, there are days when you perceive your surroundings and yourself as unflattering. This disproportionate self-perception is combined with higher work pressure on Cancer, and thus Cancer is emotionally unstable. These days are highlighted by the prediction, and thus the Cancer astrological chart from April 21st to May 15th. Cancer is now nervous about the presence of other people, as well as the presence of a partner. This nervousness is caused by self-doubt, which is now specific in Cancer under the influence of disruptive Mercury. Cancer's ability to understand others is now limited. This Mercury also carries with it frustration, especially from the intimate Cancer's life. You can't tune into the wave of your partner's needs. The mentioned cosmic constellations are difficult mainly because Cancer perceives things and relationships too impersonally. And this behavior can affect Cancer's partner, who cannot properly justify Cancer's behavior. Such unfavorable feelings move around you during April and also at the beginning of May, warns the annual Cancer prediction for this year. After May 15th, when disturbing Mercury reverberates, the relationship situation reaches the desired stability. The Sun moves through the 12th house until the day when the season of Cancer begins until June 21st. However, until Cancer celebrates his birthday, he must also focus on completing his duties and enjoying the joys that are related to a relationship with a taken Cancer. The Sun in the 12th house and a strong occupation of the 11th house means looking to the future. Cancer looks at what is ending and welcomes what is coming. In connection with the relationship, these aspects may indicate a certain termination, quarrels, affairs, satisfaction of desires. One stage ends, another stage comes, full of joy and happiness. It can also be interesting for Cancers that relationships that are unpleasant, violent, underlined by negative energies can now be eliminated more easily by Cancers. Ending these connections is essential for a long view into a bright future. From May 15th to June 21st, astrological forces are attuned to help Cancer in life change, in moving forward. And especially for those Cancers who are afraid, worried, who suffer the consequences of their previous bad decisions every day. Power comes from Mars, as well as from the Sun. Use it, dear Cancers, and don't let your life continue to be full of sorrow and tears. This year can be a turning point. Make up your mind and finally turn to the competent institutions that are now giving you a helping hand. Just like every year, Cancer celebrates its birthday this year as well. On June 21st, the season of Cancer begins. The period when in the past all Cancers were gradually born. Many Cancers await the celebration of this day at the beginning of the season, for others July is the month of Cancer's birth. However, every Cancer should enjoy this period during this year. The love of every Cancer will also be affected by the placement of the Sun in the first house. The influence of the Sun is very strong in every Cancer, who also enjoys the favorable energies of the Moon, its ruler, during these days. Cancer also enjoys this period in a partner relationship. The Sun in the first house lends Cancer a lot of available energy, which Cancer can invest in a relationship, but also in building their own personal happiness. For all these months, which the horoscope has already analyzed from the point of view of love, Cancer's relations with children are on a good level. You don't have to worry about the inconvenience of children's relationships. Even Cancers who are trying to become mothers or fathers have this success within their reach now. Jupiter in the 10th house, which is settled there until the 17th of May, has a beneficial effect on the Cancer's long-term goals. They will certainly be fulfilled if Cancer is constantly interested in satisfying this desire. With the exception of the days from April 21st to the first half of May, astrology in this direction is full of hopes and fulfilled wishes. Cancer does not focus fully on these steps in life, but it is blessed with the favorable forces of astrology, which will fulfill even the most secret desires of Cancer, adds the Cancer Love Horoscope. As for love, the first part of the year belongs to comfort and joy. The second half of the year is associated with incorrect fantasizing about a partner and a certain discomfort in life. No negative surprises are associated with Cancer love until the beginning of November. Astrology then looks at Cancer's love as times that can be unforgettable, in a positive or negative sense. In order to avoid problems, it is necessary to avoid the temptations that come into your life. Cancer now has a tendency to mistrust the partner throughout November until the final days of December. In December, the placement of Venus in the 5th astrological house is added to the disturbing position of Mars. From December 4th, Cancer can face someone from the past who will now try to threaten Cancer's relationship. Be careful, dear Cancers, don't get caught up in the sweet talk of a person who doesn't have good intentions with your heart. Many social events await you throughout the year. However, social gatherings in December can jeopardize your relationship, perhaps at first glance with an innocent flirtation with someone who admires you. Therefore, the most favorable months of the year are the months that are harmonious for Cancer and his family. The months of February, March, June, July, and October belong to the joys of Cancer. The unfavorable period seems to be the second half of the year and the last month of this year, which, however, may not be unfavorable. Everything depends on Cancer's decisions, which may not always be correct, warns the year-round Cancer annual forecast. In order to successfully end this year with a smile on your face, do not let yourself be influenced by the strong passionate energy of Venus, or just direct it correctly in the direction of your long-term partner, advises the annual horoscope for Cancer. You find joy, happiness, and satisfaction in spontaneous expressions of sexuality with your partner. This is how you can successfully navigate this year towards personal happiness, annual forecast Cancer adds. Annual horoscope for single Cancers. Single Cancer does not perceive the relationships of this year as they have been so far. At the very beginning of the year, the forecast of singles through retrograde Mercury in the 7th house draws attention to all the mistakes that Cancer made in the past. This negative world, into which the unmarried Cancer enters at the beginning of the year, for the entire first 18 days of this year, can cause Cancer to become frustrated and mistrust the future. Cancer is very indecisive right now. Although there are only 18 days of the year, they can be extremely difficult for Cancer. The transit of astrology, which is retrograde Mercury, overlaps even from the previous year 2022. The first Mercury retrograde lasts from December 29, 2022 to January 18. And these days are extremely disturbing for a single Cancer. If you feel a lot of sadness or a loss of self-confidence, it is essential to turn to someone you trust. Don't keep your sadness to yourself. Deal with the feelings that always drag you back to the past, that don't allow you to move forward in life. Dear Cancers, don't be afraid to seek support and help, perhaps even from professionals, if you feel that you can't handle the pitfalls of life. This transit can be really very demanding, and the fortune teller strongly warns against neglecting the unpleasant feelings that surround you now. If you belong to Cancers, who are single with their status, you are reconciled in the right attitude towards yourself. And so, these short-term, but too demanding energies will not affect you as much as others, annual forecast Cancer adds. From this date, when Cancer gradually regains fitness, Jupiter moves through the 9th house and is beneficial even to single Cancers. From January 18th, Jupiter is doing everything to make the Cancer happy and satisfied again. To progress and not be afraid to accept the changes that will occur in this year. Some single Cancers are afraid of giving their heart away because it has been hurt in the past. To enrich your soul with new love, you need to stop worrying about the future and look forward to everything new. And Jupiter in this year will help you a lot in this. Singles horoscope for the first quarter of this year predicts personal growth and personal mental advancement. The position of this Jupiter means the most favorable astrological position for Cancer singles for this period. Throughout the first part of the year, this Jupiter position for Cancer singles means magical abilities that are combined with healthy intuition. Thanks to this, Cancer is in the right mood and enjoys everything that comes. At least that's how Cancer should feel now. A lot also depends on how Cancer handles the opening phase of the year, the action of the first retrograde Mercury. Thanks to Jupiter, you focus on personal mental building of status and relationship with yourself. And thanks to this, the first half of the year can be full of interesting surprises for Cancer, who is looking for a relationship. Cancer, who is identified with being single, is ready to further strengthen his joy of this period. This Cancer enjoys the beauty of everyday life. No problem disturbs you in the direction of love, you are on a wave of joy and happiness. And above all, you are very satisfied. Single Cancer looking for and longing for love also focuses on the past in the second half. The astrological chart presents many transits that indicate Cancer's connection with the past. For some Cancers, this means that they will meet their former partner again, or long to return to their ex-partner. This year's astrological energies coming from favorable planetary positions are largely focused on good Cancer friendships. And that's why your closest friend is also the person who will give you the best advice if you feel like you don't know your own emotions. And how will the relationship of single Cancers with an ex-partner develop? The cosmic vibrations of this year are favorable for new things. But the past won't let you rest either. However, fortune teller Sybil also connected with what the cards say about. And they clearly say that Cancer should focus on the future. Don't wallow in the past. And in addition, the cards do not consider returning to an ex-partner to be a good move for Cancer in this year. All the negativity that you experienced with your ex-partner will sooner or later hit your world again. And love will never be in the necessary balance even if this person has left Cancer. Look to the future, to things to come. Do not fixate on things that should remain unchanged, advises annual forecast and also tarot cards of this year for the Cancer sign. Several unmarried Cancers are waiting for interesting meetings. For example, in the month of December, certain events allow you to connect your soul with someone with whom you will feel a passion that you have not known before. But the fortune teller also warns of love triangles during this year that would not lead to your happiness. And therefore, also avoid meaningless affairs. If they exist, prediction for Cancer strongly advises you to end these relationships. Cancer family and friends forecast. Cancer's relationship with itself is strengthened every day of this year. You think more deeply about who you are and where fate is navigating you. In addition, you identify more deeply with the opinions and needs of your loved ones. With this year comes the improvement of Cancer's diverse relationships. The energies of this year will certainly gift you with what is called family happiness and friendship. The chart for this year from astrology does not predict many disturbing aspects that would affect the good family relations of Cancer. On the contrary, friendly relationships will be affected many times through astrology, but mostly positively. The yearly Cancer prediction of family relations and friendship speaks of the Cancer family as the basic fulcrum of this, the fourth sign. Cancer enjoys moments full of joy and fun. The correct position of the astrological aspects of the year has a beneficial effect on Cancer's family relationships. You cannot avoid confrontations in the family either. However, these energies are fully specific mainly for the last 2 months of this year, November and December. Under the influence of a huge number of responsibilities, it can happen that organizing things related to the family can be complicated. The most beautiful family relationships in Cancer occur in the months of September and October, which, unlike the final months, according to astrology, are the most favorable for Cancer family relationships. That's when you enjoy family gatherings. Planning celebrations for the family should not be avoided in any month of the year. Even the summer months of this year are made for beautiful moments with your family. You can also enjoy your birthday this year with your family, who will be delighted by your presence. The Cancer family annual forecast thus summarizes that Cancer can expect mild complications only at the end of the year, when Cancer should be careful about expressing and harsh words towards family members and their decisions. Be careful, however, the health of your family members may be at risk. Energy that is damaged in the health of your loved ones must be kept under control. Take an interest in the health of parents, siblings, children, and even your closest friends. The horoscope points out that concern for the health of loved ones is an inevitable routine this year. Otherwise, you may neglect things that matter. In order for Cancer to be satisfied even in these months, it is necessary to value your words and try to understand more what the family wants to say to Cancer. The decisions of others may not always be equated with yours. Therefore, the end of this year will require more understanding and empathy on the Cancer's part, adds the great annual forecast Cancer. Strong, long-lasting, encouraging, and beautiful. Such will be the friendly relationships that arise in this year. But only those that Cancer creates after May 15th, when the disturbing aspect of Mercury on friendly relationships will pass. Until these days, you tend to be interested in others. You look for the qualities of siblings in your friends, and therefore they are closer to you than ever. Until May 15th, astrological aspects may interfere with your self-expression and the way you communicate to a certain extent. You gain many new relationships in your life through new friendships in the second half of this year. In the second half of the year, Jupiter intervenes in your world, which with its favorable position helps Cancer to grow and expand. For personal advancement, you also use personal contacts, which you now establish very easily. Many new acquaintances will become your good friends. Friendship horoscope Cancer predicts that all friendships that are close to you are now supported. Those friendships that are formed can turn into your closest friends, ones that cannot be broken even by the strongest storm. If you feel sad, if the world seems unbearable, annual forecast Cancer has good news for you. Friends are the value that helps you overcome any negative energies around. They are here in this year to support you and to make your beautiful days of this year more beautiful. Friendship horoscope for this period, Cancer considers friendship as the most important gift from. Horoscope Cancer for work and money. During several days of this year, the forecast predicts really favorable effects on the career. This is even from the point of view of the graph very encouraged by several astrological aspects that take place in the beginning and in the second half of the year. Right in the opening months of this year, Cancer enjoys good news for career and finances. In the month of January, Venus moves through the 8th and 9th houses. This position means that Cancer should be careful about money, which it can receive even without its own doing. Sometimes it is about gifts, other times about inheritance or passive earnings. In the beginning of January, money can be wasted, which the prediction points out right at the beginning of the financial forecast. As for the career, the start of the year is also ideal for starting this year's success. And that by completing the duties that were carried over from last year. So definitely use this period to complete the necessary tasks, to deal with all pending emails, obligations. In February, Venus will focus mainly on the 9th house. The overall chart predicts that during February trips abroad, or meetings with foreign cultures, with foreigners await Cancer. If you travel abroad this month, it is very likely that this trip will have a very positive effect on your career future. The Cancer yearly forecast warns in February that during this period you should not argue with colleagues about topics not related to work. Rumors could arise which, based on the misunderstanding of others, could worsen your reputation. That's why, dear Cancer, remember to discuss mainly work topics at work. Avoid gossiping about personal problems, advises in the end of the yearly chart for Cancer. Both February and March are specific months for the more strongly occupied 10th house. This position of the planets is related to work and long-term goals. Again, the work horoscope warns against a reputation that could be damaged by Cancer. However, it is excellent for Cancer that these months enrich it with masculine energy, which is sometimes necessary to overcome the competition. Also, for the above reasons, Cancer has opportunities for success during the first quarter. Long-term plans that you made in the past can now come true, thanks to your diligence and the right priorities. Since March 19th, Mercury has been moving through the house responsible for the long-term goals and work commitment of Cancer. Cancer is a person who is now looking for employment. According to astrology, this position is very favorable. Cancer develops not only work relationships and is set on success. Cancer learns and strengthens its intellect. Therefore, both March and April are beneficial periods for students born under the Cancer zodiac sign. It is very likely that Cancer will achieve success and recognition in employment these days, annual forecast Cancer adds. Jupiter, settled in the 10th house until May 17th, is responsible for many of Cancer's successes. Cancer with Jupiter placed in this way can really enjoy professional success and travel in higher social classes in the early months of the year. However, beware of excessive pride, which can cause you a sudden job promotion or sudden success. Annual forecast Cancer for work and finances points out that you have achieved this success through long-term work, so maintaining will require the continuation of your hard work. In long-term plans, Cancer is cautious and foresight. Since intuition is very strong in any Cancer, and even more so in a Cancer working with its third eye chakra, you can use it to realize your past dreams and fulfill your long-term goals. Reputation is extremely important for Cancer this year and forms part of the forecast for the whole year. Take care of your reputation consistently and pay attention to your priorities as well. Make your dreams come true, because the first half of the year is so very favorable that things will go very easily for you. After the Cancer season, which ends on July 23rd, you will focus on restoring a solid family budget. Astrology, which talks about the placement of the Sun in the 2nd house in the second half of July, also defines that Mercury will also greatly support Cancer's financial success. Also, financial planning. Cancer now places great emphasis on the material security of itself and the family. July and August can be challenging from the point of view of Cancer's finances. Cancer's desire to achieve material satisfaction and achieve success can be satisfied in these months. Annual forecast Cancer points out that this sign can get tired of how much it focuses on improving financial happiness. The fortune teller reminds Cancer to realize that money is not everything. Therefore, enjoy the present moment more, chase less money. September means sudden career success. Cancer aspects the ruling planet Moon and an important full moon in the 10th house. The feminine energy of the moon is beneficial for those Cancers whose careers require mainly feminine energy. Those Cancers do well who work with people who work with the souls of others. This is how a psychologist, a healer, a person who takes care of others is successful in the month of September, for example. Cancers perceive an excess of female energy, especially in the period around the full moon at the end of September. During October, Venus enters the 3rd house of Cancer. Venus remains in this position until the first third of next month. He talks about social events, which also mean work success for Cancer. Venus now develops Cancer's communication skills. Thanks to work trips or work meetings, Cancer develops its horizons and acquires new opportunities to succeed. Good interpersonal relationships are the basis of Cancer's success. For students born under the sign of Cancer, astrology also predicts great success in these months. The penultimate month of the year is evident from the perspective of the astrological chart by the placement of Mercury in the 6th house, in the sign of Sagittarius. The direct transit of Mercury in this sign means an interesting position for Cancer, who now uses his wits to succeed extremely quickly. Cancer may also face an enormous physical burden that will appear at work. As Cancer copes with the many obligations predicted by November, the end of the year will be even more pleasant. In any case, Cancer should not forget to take a comprehensive rest during their duties, which will be many at the end of the year. Rest actively, because your energy navigates you to a healthier lifestyle through physical movement exercise. According to the yearly chart, the end of the year is in many ways too difficult for Cancer. So don't think unnecessarily about what could have been or what will be. Focus on today. On how to use all the possibilities and free time in order to relax perfectly even during this difficult period. According to the chart, money will not cause you many problems during the year. Cancer can also invest in a good vacation, according to their own ideas. Invest money mainly in your own relaxation and to relax your mind, especially after hard days. On the work and financial side, Cancer is most successful in conjunction with the Cancer, Virgo, and Libra sign. These relationships at work are the most beneficial for Cancer's future, adds the annual forecast Cancer. Cancer health forecast for this year. The health horoscope for the 4th sign of the zodiac in order for Cancer for this year defines this Cancer as a period when you must be concerned about your own health and the health of those closest to you. In order to avoid any major health-related complications in the family, it is necessary to pay attention to yourself and your loved ones. This year is a time to pause, to think about whether your physical health and your psyche are in good shape. The excellent news for your physical health is the fact that this year gives you a lot of energy that you can use as you wish. This year is also set right for Cancer to lose weight and cultivate the right habits. If the Cancer desires it, especially the Cancer that is not satisfied with its physical health. In the first quarter of this year, nothing significant will happen that would threaten Cancer's health in any way. But watch out for the first 18 days of the year, when the energy from Mercury can be a harbinger of complications for the health. Injuries in particular can trouble you these days. And therefore, horoscope advises caution when driving or other activities that may be risky. At the end of the first quarter of the year, Mars begins to move through the 1st house. It nestles in the Cancer zodiac sign, where it radiates strong Martian energy. This transit of Mars lasts a long time, until May 20th. These days are therefore a period of significant increase in strength and vitality. The Cancer health prognosis for this period makes a Cancer person full of energy. Now is the right time to care and be interested in the health of others. Mars in the 1st house of Cancer says that if Cancer wants to build strength and exercise more, it can start right now. Mars gives strength and even leadership feelings to Cancer, who now wants to keep all things firmly in his hands, under his own control. Cancer now knows no boundaries or limits in improving its health. Attention, dear Cancer, it is possible that you will not be able to keep your energy completely under control, and therefore it is necessary to discharge the energy through physical exercise. The horoscope perceives April as an extremely active period. No Cancer should now neglect preventive examinations at the doctor's office. It is necessary to fulfill these in the first half of the year, when you get to know your health in detail and even know how to work with possible unpleasant news such as high blood pressure, cholesterol, insufficient intake of necessary vitamins. When annual forecast mentions vitamins, they must be part of the daily diet. If you know that you are not able to supplement all the necessary vitamins with your diet, it is necessary to supplement these vitamins artificially. Cancer should realize that the necessary dose of vitamin D will be supplemented by the sun, but in the case of a rainy day, it may be better to supplement this vitamin artificially. However, follow the recommended daily dose of the vitamin. Do not neglect the power of this vitamin, which is responsible for the strong immunity. For pregnant women under the Cancer sign, it is now necessary to take enough B vitamins, folic acid, and also calcium. Cancer should also avoid alcohol in the second half of this year, especially if alcohol in Cancer can cause various digestive system problems, as well as excessive headaches. The feelings you have the morning after the party are a sign that your body is not accepting alcohol as it should. It damages your good health and, last but not least, you also damage your overall body resistance. Bad habits in this year are most damaging to your good health. This year, in terms of transits, is a time when you have to say no to all bad habits. Of course, fast food from time to time will not destroy your health. However, cigarettes and a lot of alcohol can really deplete your body. Therefore, try to fight against devastating habits and realize that good health must be Cancer's priority in this year. Solid health can be disturbed in the second half of the year by the monthly NOV and full moon in December. On December 12th, there will be a new moon in the sign of Sagittarius, and thus in the 6th house of Cancer. In this regard, the days around December 6th are characterized by large fluctuations in the moods of Cancer. Attention, dear Cancer, problems with diabetes may appear, but also the manifestation of various allergies. Be careful at the beginning of the year of Cancer, because an unpleasant injury or an allergic reaction can change your plans from minute to minute. At the end of December, the moon is placed in the 1st house of Cancer. These days, the Cancer prediction for this year again warns of stomach problems. Therefore, the forecast for the previous days advises you to eat moderately. Avoid unhealthy food now, which can disturb your digestion. Cancer women can also encounter solving problems of a female nature in December, so take care of your female health. Pregnant seagulls should also be extremely careful in the last month of 2022. Last but not least, Cancer annual forecast for health must also mention the third eye chakra, which must be taken care of especially for Cancers who have a problem with working with their inner self and mental attitude. In addition, a healthy third eye chakra will strengthen intuition, and it can warn you in advance of various complications that may appear in this year. The third eye stimulates memory, imagination, intuition. It connects Cancer with the natural world. Cancer can therefore rely on a correct assessment of problems in themselves and in their family. The constant flow of thoughts that causes poor quality sleep in Cancer is also soothed by a healthy third eye chakra. Keep the chakra in the right environment and in a healthy condition through meditation, but also in ways that are further presented on our site. Horoscope and Tarot wishes you, dear Cancers, good luck and joy in this year. Dear friends, this was an overview of the year 2023. Listen to predictions for others, and find out more facts about the year and its effects on your friends, family members, and you. Horoscope and Divination wish you all the best in this stunning year. According to Chinese astrology, 2023 is the year of Water Rabbit, when good things are coming. Listen to Chinese Horoscopes 2023 as well and be ready for this year. Subscribe to our channel for more information from the zodiac world. Remember to support us by subscription. In the description below, you will find links for all essential horoscopes. Know yourself better with the Horoscope Divination site. With free horoscopes and tarot readings. Wish you all the best in 2023.